Welcome back to Xbox Corner, my name's Luke, and it's that time of the week again where we take a look at the latest offering of Game Pass titles, and keeping with December's trend, it's another huge week with 10 more games being added, which takes us up to a total of 24 new games on Game Pass so far this December. Now it seems that Microsoft is really pushing out the boat just in time for Christmas, and so we may yet see another set of games drop before the month is out, but we've got a lot to cover today, so make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to keep up to date with our latest deals, reviews and Game Pass content, and let's get into it. So we'll kick things off today with something for the kids, as Outright Games have just had several of their titles added to Game Pass this week, starting with Transformers Battlegrounds. Now I won't confess to having played any of their other games, but this is one that I did play when it released on Nintendo Switch, and it's a turn-based strategy game in a similar vein to the XCOM games, which aims to get a younger audience into the genre. Set in the iconic Transformers universe, the game follows an epic battle between the Autobots and Decepticons, and the mechanics in this one are simplified, giving you several different Transformers to play with, each with their own abilities, but there is enough depth with the game to still offer a decent level of challenge to a younger player. All in all, it's not a bad little game. Our second Outright Games title is Ben 10 Power Trip, and this is of course based around the kids' TV series, with the game's storyline following our main man Ben as he attempts to stop the evil magician Hex from destroying the world. Now I know nothing about the series, but in the game you can expect to be transforming into different aliens to battle enemies, solving puzzles, and exploring the world in this 3D action platformer. The game also has 2-player split-screen co-op, which is always a bonus when it comes to kids' games, and I'm sure if your kids are a fan of the TV series, then they'll have a great time playing this one. Up next we have what I expect is another fan favourite for all those young uns, with Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay, and this is another one which offers a 2-player cooperative experience, with the players taking control of various doggos from the Paw Patrol universe. After a fallen meteor smashes into Adventure Bay, our average everyday pups gain superpowers and must embark on missions to save the town's residents from danger. I obviously can't confess to being a Paw Patrol fan, because that would just be weird and I don't have any young kids of my own, but the game does look pretty vibrant and fun, and 2-player co-op mode is always great to keep them quiet for a few hours. So the last of our Outright Games titles is Race with Ryan, and while I know a little bit about the previous franchises, this is one that I've never even heard of. The game appears to be some kind of Mario Kart style racer though, where you get to drive around in a bunch of different toy cars from the world of Ryan. It also has split screen co-op gameplay for up to 4 players, and a bunch of different accessibility options allowing kids of all ages to get involved. Now Alex has apparently played this one at some point, and being our resident racing game fanatic, I trust his opinion even when it comes to kids racers, and he said that Race with Ryan really isn't the best racing game, but I suppose it's still alright for a freebie. So up next we have our first major day 1 release this week with the Gunk, and this is one that we've covered on the channel with both a graphical comparison as well as a full review, so make sure to check them out if you haven't already done so. Now the Gunk offers a casual puzzle platforming experience mixed with a bit of light combat, and it follows the story of 2 space-faring scavengers who, after detecting a massive energy pulse from a strange planet, decide to head down to the surface to check it out. Needless to say, they end up winding up in a bit of a sticky situation, but utilising a highly convenient mechanical arm, the game's protagonist is able to suck up the Gunk as well as nasty little enemies to use as ammo, and players must do so in order to cleanse the planet and track down the source of the energy pulse. All in all, I'd say that the Gunk offers a nice easy-going gameplay experience for you to enjoy at a leisurely pace, as well as a reasonably short runtime, and so you should be able to fit it in around all of the other games that you're looking at playing this Christmas. The next game on our list is Lake, and like our previous game, it also offers a pretty chill gameplay experience. Now Lake is a narrative-driven adventure game in which you play as Meredith, a successful middle-aged woman who decides to take a vacation and travel back to a hometown known as Providence Falls. While there, she ends up filling in for her dad delivering parcels for the local post office, and the game is all about her reconnecting with past acquaintances, revisiting locations from her youth, and basically evaluating evaluate in her life. Now Lake is definitely more of a niche title, which those looking for a slower story-driven gameplay experience may enjoy. It's also another one which Alex had the pleasure of covering on the channel, so make sure to check out our review of the game linked below if you want to know more about it. Time to head to the other end of the spectrum now then with Mortal Kombat 11, and this is a game which really needs no introduction, but if somehow you've never heard of Mortal Kombat, then it essentially sees you partaking in brutal one-on-one fights between two combatants. Now while the likes of Street Fighter and Tekken keep things rather tame, Mortal Kombat has never been known for its subtlety, and Mortal Kombat 11 definitely takes things to new heights, and it's really not one for the squeamish, as with the fantastically morbid X-ray fatalities, you literally get to witness bones being broken and organs being pulverised. If like me you're a bit of a sicko though and just love that kind of shit, then you'll be glad to hear that this one does the series justice. It has an iconic roster of characters, not only from the Mortal Kombat universe, but also from other legendary franchises such as The Terminator, Batman and Robocop, and it's definitely a must play for any fighting game fan. So our second new Xbox title this week comes in the form of Deedlit in Wonderland, and this is a fantastic looking 2D Metroidvania title which actually acts as a prequel to the Record of Lodoss War manga series. Now the game looks to have all the hallmarks of a great Metroidvania, including a huge sprawling map to explore, combat with an assortment of melee and ranged weapons, some badass boss battles, and a bunch of equipable elemental spirits which affect your character's stats. And while I can't confess to having ever heard of the manga series of which it's based around, the game itself looks pretty awesome, and I was definitely getting some Castlevania Symphony of the Night vibes from this one. Our penultimate title this week is Broken Age, and this one came out a fair few years ago now, but it was the game which Grim Fandango creator Tim Schafer returned to the game dev scene with, so you know it's got to be half decent. As with Grim Fandango, Broken Age is a point and click adventure game, and it's a coming of age story which actually takes the player down two separate story paths simultaneously, as you follow the journey of two individuals in two radically different worlds, but both of them find themselves in strangely similar situations. Now the game allows players to freely switch between each character as they help them to solve puzzles and work their way through unusual circumstances, and as well as there being plenty of serality for you to enjoy with this one, it also has some wonderful hand-drawn visuals as well as an all-star cast of voice actors including Elijah Wood, Jack Black and Jennifer Hale, and if you're into your point-and-click adventure games, then this is definitely one to check out. The final game on our list is Firewatch, an absolute legend of a title in the walking simulator genre of games, and if you've never actually played a walking simulator, then this may just be the game to get you into them. Now Firewatch sees you playing as Henry, a likeable chap who after looking for a way to escape his somewhat messy home life, decides to go and work as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness. Perched atop his lookout post, his only lifeline back to the real world lies in a two-way radio from which he can contact his supervisor Delilah, and the game's story follows the development of Harry's relationship with Delilah as he mans his lookout post and heads out into the wilderness to investigate something unusual. Now I've purposefully kept it obscure with my description of this one as it really needs to be played to be appreciated, but let's just say that there's a reason why Firewatch sits at the top of both mine and Alex's list of must-play walking simulators, and like I said, even if this genre isn't usually your cup of tea, I highly recommend that you give Firewatch a go. And so that just about does it for another week on Game Pass, and by all accounts it's been another solid one, so let us know if you're going to be playing any of the titles that we've covered down in the comments section below. We're on the run up to Christmas now, so I expect things to be quieting down a little on the release front, but we've still got plenty of great content to put out on the channel to take us into 2022, so make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all our latest content, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone, take care.